I want you guys to understand that we are only in week 3 of 2024, and I feel like my head is going to explode. In a monumental move, WWE once again changes the landscape of professional wrestling and possibly sports around the world. After much speculation, Monday Night Raw linked to Warner Brothers Discovery, Amazon, Disney, Hulu. They finally found their new home, and their new home is on Netflix, starting in January 2025 for the price of $500 million per year over the next 10 years. $5 billion for the flagship show of Monday Night Raw. This will mark the first time in its 3-decade history that Monday Night Raw has not aired new episodes on a linear television network. The deal is valued at $500 million per year over the next 10 years. Netflix has the option to opt out after the initial 5 years and to extend for an additional 10 years. By comparison, sources also say that WWE's current 5-year deal for Raw with NBCU is worth approximately $250 to $260 million per year. This is unbelievable, man. This news hit the social media feeds at 7:30 this morning. I was still sleeping. I'm being blasted with texts. Wake up, it's time to make some videos. This is crazy, man. And I want to say first and foremost, a lot of our predictions, we got it wrong. A lot of us had linked WWE to Warner Brothers Discovery or some other platform over the next 5 years. But WWE breaking ground and doing what they do best, setting the trends for everybody else to follow, lands with Netflix. A lot of us got it wrong. WWE's current deal with NBC Universal has Raw airing on USA Network until October of 2024. What does this mean? If WWE is starting with Netflix in January 2025, they're not going to be off the air for the next 2 months after October. I'm assuming that NBC and WWE, being that their partnership is so tight and being that SmackDown is also going to be airing on NBCU on USA Network starting in October of 2024, I would assume that a deal is struck for Monday Night Raw to remain on USA Network until this new deal with Netflix goes into play. According to an individual with knowledge of the situation, exactly where Raw will air between the end of that deal and the beginning of the Netflix deal is still being determined. So right now they don't know. But I'm assuming that it still will be with USA Network, just being that WWE still has a lot of business to do and to handle with NBCU, being that they work with Peacock and all the streaming services are on Peacock, all the shows are on Peacock, and then SmackDown is going to be on the USA Network starting in October. Under the deal, Netflix will become the exclusive home for Raw in the United States, in Canada, and in the United Kingdom. Latin America as well, and other territories once the deal begins, with more countries and regions to be added over time. Netflix will also become the television home for all WWE shows outside the U.S. That includes weekly shows like SmackDown and NXT, as well as annual live events like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and the Royal Rumble. On top of that, documentaries, original series, and additional projects. Nick Khan, in a statement, says, in its relatively short history, Netflix has engineered a phenomenal track record for storytelling. We believe Netflix, as one of the world's leading entertainment brands, is the long-term home for WWE Raw Live and their loyal and ever-growing fan base. Mark Shapiro, president and COO of TKO, says this deal is transformative. It marries the can't-miss WWE product with Netflix's extraordinary global reach and locks in significant and unpredictable economics for many years. Our partnership fundamentally alters and strengthens the media landscape, dramatically expands the reach of WWE, and brings weekly live appointment viewing to Netflix. Acquiring the rights to Raw solidifies Netflix's push into live programming. So now this is going to transcend the business. WWE is now a trendsetter and are getting their feet wet first with everybody else to follow. I'll explain in a second. So such a move right now is a necessity for the streaming revolution that we're in right now. Everything is streaming. Cable TV is slowly dying, with multiple competitors already offering regular live sports programs to their subscribers. Amazon, for example, locked up the exclusive rights to the NFL's Thursday Night Football for 10 years, beginning with the 2023 season. Peacock, NBC Universal streaming service, and the current home to the WWE library and content, all live events in the United States for WWE, recently racked up 23 million viewers when it aired the NFL playoff game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. Shapiro said this deal was months in the making. I mean, everybody thought that WWE was going to Warner Brothers Discovery. If they were going to land on cable television, then they would have probably landed with Warner Brothers Discovery. But Warner Brothers Discovery was not going to pay upwards towards this type of money, $500 million per year for WWE. $5 billion for WWE. That was never going to happen with Warner Brothers Discovery. You know, the fucking animal in me has one question and one question only. I don't give a shit how much money they're making. I don't give a shit when and where or how it's airing. I don't care. The one thing I want to know, the fucking first thing off the top of my head is Monday Night Raw going to revert back to 2 hours? That's what I want to know. How is this all going to work? Triple H has been documented to say that booking a 3-hour show and creatively writing for a 3-hour show fucking sucks. It's terrible. Are they going to go back to 2 hours? What is the need for the third hour if WWE clearly is being paid for the fact that Netflix is not going to have any advertisements during the show? How is this all going to work? Are we going to get, is it going to be like we see it now? Are there going to be commercials integrated into the show? Is Netflix going to show commercials before the show airs? Are we going to get commercials every 30 minutes with the little tab next to it? If you're paying for the premium service, skip ad. I don't know. Or with the little countdown timer, 1 of 7 ads to play. How is this going to work? Nobody really knows yet. Everything is so new and everything is so foreign. So we don't know how any of this is going to work. Is Monday Night Raw going to be Monday Night Raw? Will it be Tuesday Night Raw? Will it be Friday Night Raw? We don't know. Will it just be WWE Raw on Friday? I don't know. I can't imagine they take Monday Night Raw off of its flagship night. It's been the same way for 30 years. It would be fucking ridiculous if they take it off of Monday night. Now, a couple of different things here as far as the Netflix deal, and I want to go over some statistics here because I've been doing a deep dive as Drew and I get ready for TNT tonight, where we will go into this a little bit more extensively here for Netflix and WWE and what this means for the landscape of WWE. But WWE right now, landing on Netflix, listen to these numbers. According to Digital Trends, Netflix is the world's largest streaming service with 247 million paid memberships as of September 30, 2023. In 2020, 51% of U.S. households had paid TV subscriptions. According to Nielsen, streaming services have a greater share of viewers than cable, with 38% of all TV viewing compared to 31% for traditional cable. And over the next 10 years, where WWE is linked to Netflix, that 31% is going to become less and less and less and less. In July of 2022, streaming platforms surpassed cable for the first time with 34.8% of screen time compared to cable's 34.4%. Couple of other things in regards to Netflix. Netflix generated $24.89 billion in revenue in the first 3 quarters of 2023. Netflix is responsible for 8% of all video time globally, and Netflix is preferred by 47% of Americans over other streaming platforms. Those are just some basic Netflix statistics that I've uncovered while doing some research for this topic later on tonight when Drew and I go live for episode 31 of TNT. All I can say is this. I can joke around about it being 2 hours. We don't really know much of anything else and how it's going to work. But from my POV, this entire thing is going to be the groundbreaking fucking, situation that we find ourselves in with WWE once again leading the charge and becoming a trendsetter. If this is successful, which I'm expecting it will be, WWE is going to be at the forefront of basically cable television dying. Monday Night Raw, no matter how you look at professional wrestling, is one of the longest weekly episodic shows of all time, which is being taken off traditional cable television and being put on Netflix as a live show weekly, 51 weeks out of 52 weeks in the year, give or take holidays. You don't think that the NFL, you don't think that MLB, you don't think that the NBA, you don't think that the NHL, NASCAR, and all these other sports companies are looking at WWE now with their eyes wide open, looking at how successful this venture is going to be. If WWE lands with Netflix and this becomes as successful as people are expecting it to be, they are going to transcend an entire fucking industry of live sports programming, live episodic television, finding its way onto streaming services, and cable television will die. From this moment on, we will be looking at this day as the day that cable television died because of what WWE did here. It's an unbelievable thing to even ponder. It's mind-blowing how much money WWE has made with Monday Night Raw, the Saudi deal, and SmackDown getting a 30% increase over what they were getting for Fox, or with Fox, now with NBCU. And I wonder, Netflix signed for 10 years. $500 million over 10 years. The Peacock deal ends in 2025, 2026. Is WWE set to move all of their library over to Netflix? Remember, the report said that Netflix has an opt-out option after 5, and they have an option if they want to extend for another 10 years. Is WWE going to land with Netflix and everything that we know and love about WWE? Is the entire catalog and everything going to land with Netflix after their time with Peacock comes to an end? I don't know, man. This is crazy, crazy times we're living in. You look at Nick Khan, and like I said, Drew and I will talk about this a little bit later on TNT, go into a more deep dive. He's more of a business mindset than I am. I'm more creative. But you look at Nick Khan, and, Nick Khan, I did not like the entire perception that was Nick Khan early in the Vince McMahon era. He was nothing more than a Vince McMahon yes man. But underneath all of those yeses and underneath all of the business that he was conducting, it seemingly looks like with Vince now out of the picture, he is the new Vince McMahon. Nick Khan may be, in this stage of Vince McMahon's career, in this stage of Vince McMahon's life, Nick Khan may be the greatest hire that Vince McMahon has ever brought into the WWE, especially at this stage of his life. It's unbelievable how Nick Khan has operated and conducted business with WWE. The TKO stock, you don't think people are excited about this? The TKO stock closed at $77 a share yesterday. The last I looked, it was up to $90 a share on Wall Street trading as of Tuesday afternoon. People are excited about this deal. It's unbelievable what has happened here. This is crazy. We'll go over more of the huge company that is Netflix. We'll go into a deep dive of Netflix statistics as a possible reason as to why Nick Khan sat down with them and agreed to take most of the WWE catalog, presumably, over to Netflix, starting with Monday Night Raw, their flagship show. But I have a lot more questions than answers, and a lot of us have a lot of questions. Where are the ads going to be? Are there going to be ads? Is there going to be tiered servicing for Netflix? Are some of those tiered servicings going to be ads incorporated, a premium tier with no ads? How is this going to work for WWE? Are we going to get WWE Raw commercial free? on Netflix? Is it going to be 2 hours instead of 3 hours? Is it going to be on Monday or maybe another day during the week? We don't know. We don't know. A lot of questions yet to be answered here, but a monumental day for WWE. This goes on top of The Rock being added to the TKO board of directors. We'll talk about that as well tonight. He got official ruling that the name The Rock, completely his now. Trademarked completely, the likeness and the name of The Rock, now owned by Dwayne Johnson. And he got a nice little cut as well to be a part of the TKO board of directors. How does that play into the entire XFL dealing? Because The Rock does own the XFL. So what is he doing with that? I don't know. A lot of questions regarding that as well. What type of influence is The Rock going to have on the TKO board of directors? Something else to look out for. Kazuchika Okada, he may land in WWE. If sources are correct, they already have Okada in WWE and starting with NXT under the tutelage of Shawn Michaels. I mean, it's a crazy fucking day. An absolutely crazy day. But we will go over more of this TKO news down on TNT tonight, episode 31. Make sure you guys tune in at 8:30 p.m. Eastern with Andrew Baydala and myself. If you guys want to sound off in the comments, I'd love to hear your reactions. I'd love to hear your suggestions. I'd love to hear what you think about this. Give us some questions. We may answer them later tonight during episode 31 of TNT. Until then, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And make sure you guys go and check out all of the other content on the channel. There is plenty of it right here on OTS. Guys, it's going to be a busy week. And obviously, as documented so far with last night's Monday Night Raw review, which was a banger show. And then tonight, TNT, and then today's news. There's not going to be any shortage of content. So keep it right here this week for Royal Rumble week, right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys live for TNT episode 31 tonight with Andrew Baydala on Off the Script. See you guys later.